everyone, I'm Shalima, your English coach. So today I want to talk about on a very special topic, on a very demanded topic, how to speak with confidence with anyone. So on this I will give you a lot of things. Okay, so first of all, I want to share my story. Remember once I was at a big gathering and something happened to me there. Yes, there was a group of people and they were talking about something so incredibly interesting, a topic I know a lot about, and I had so much that I wanted to say. So many thoughts and ideas. So I really wanted to share my views, but I just didn't know how to join the conversation. I kept thinking, what if I interrupt? What if it's awkward? And I just stayed quiet. Later, I felt really bad that I didn't say anything at all. I think almost everyone has been there. You have so much to contribute, but that little voice in your head stops you and you just feel stuck on the outside, right? It's that moment when you wish you could just confidently step in and share your ideas, but something holds you back. Well, this is what we are doing today, guys. We are going to talk all about how to talk to anyone with confidence. I will share practical ways to feel more comfortable joining conversations and speaking your mind and connecting with people. All right, guys. So before that, please like this video and subscribe to my channel and share this video. All right, because here I'm going to teach you something very important. There will be no pressure, no stress, just real conversation. Okay, so if you want to talk to anyone confidently and easily, get comfortable, grab your tea, and let's get started, guys. Do you think it's so hard to talk to people sometimes? I think it often comes down to just feeling nervous because our mind starts overthinking everything. We begin to worry about what the other people might think of us. You start thinking, right? I say something wrong. Will they think I'm strange? Am I going to be judged? And when those thoughts fill your head, it makes you stop. Even if you have a lot of to say and you really want to join, that feeling just freezes you. That's exactly what happened to me at that gathering. I had so many interesting points, but the fear of interrupting awkwardly or saying something silly just kept me quiet. It felt like a wall in my head. It's a very common experience. We focus so much on imagining bad outcomes that we forget the good things that could happen. We stop ourselves before we even try, right? It can really hold us back even when we have a lot of to contribute. But how can we avoid that struggle and begin to feel more confident? Yes, so it's all about preparing your mindset and practicing your confidence. It's not something you have just naturally, it's a skill you build, right? It start even before you say a word. When you decide to join a conversation or even just walk into a room, think about your body. For example, you can actually enter and join with a great posture. Stand tall, keep your shoulders back. It's instantly makes you feel a little stronger, and it also makes you look more confident to others. And don't forget a smile. A genuine friendly smile is a universal welcome sign. It tells people you are open and friendly. And when you speak, use a nice welcome voice. Use a nice welcoming voice. Not too loud, not too quiet, but clear and friendly. These physical actions actually send signals to your brain, making you feel more confident. But the biggest battle is often in our minds. That's where we need to change those negative thoughts into positive ones. Instead of letting your brain say, what if I say something wrong? What if I make a mistake and look silly? What if they judge me? You need to shift them to positive thoughts. You need to switch that thoughts immediately. For example, Or instead of thinking, what if I interrupt awkwardly, tell yourself that I am just going to try to join the flow of the conversation in a polite way. The worst that can happen is you pause and then you try again. It's about remembering that in most everyday conversations, it's not that serious. People are usually focused on enjoying the moment, not judging your every word. They are more likely to appreciate you joining in, isn't it? It's not that serious if you think about it. However, for many people, the challenge isn't just what to say, but how to start. A lot of us struggle with what's called small talk or, just simply initiating the conversation. If you don't know, initiate just means starting something. So, initiating a conversation means simply being the one to begin talking. It can feel like the hardest part, especially when you are walking up to a group or someone you don't know, right? You see a group laughing and chatting, and you have thoughts, but then you think, how do I just enter that? What do I say first? The first few words can feel really difficult to find. I think if I knew back then in that gathering how to start the conversation smoothly or how to just join it without feeling awkward, it would it would have helped me so much. And small talk is so important too. By small talk we mean those easy light conversations about journal things like the weather or what someone did on the weekend that help you connect with people. Knowing how to have a small talk is really, really important for building confidence. It's how you test the waters and how you show you are friendly. Now, the big question is that how do we start a conversation, right? So, here I'm going to share some powerful phrases and ways to start a conversation that make them sound confident. These are simple ways and phrases make that first step much easier and more natural. The easiest way to start is often by simply making an observation about your surroundings or making a comment on the current situations, something you share. So, these are the safe topics. Here, I am going to share some examples. Okay, so if you are at an event where food is served, you could say, this food is great, isn't it? Or I love this dish. It's my favorite. If you are outside or waiting somewhere, you could say, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? Or this line is quite long today. See, it's a simple statement or question about something you experience. It opens the door for the other people or other person to reply. The next trick. The next trick is to ask an open ended question. An open ended question means a question that cannot be answered with just yes or no. It invites the other person to give a longer answers, which starts a conversation. This is a very important, and if you are at a gathering, you can say, what brings you here today? Or how do you know the host? If you see someone with a book or wearing a shirt from a certain place, what are you reading? Or I love that city. What did you like the most about it? These questions immediately invite more than just a single word, which helps the conversation grow. Another great way to start is by offering help or even asking for a very simple help yourself. Yes, it creates a small moment of connection. If you see someone struggling with something light, you could say, can I help you with that? Or do you need a hand? If you genuinely need a piece of information, you could say, excuse me, do you know where the restroom is? Or could you tell me what time the next bus is? Most people are happy to help, and this small interaction can naturally lead to a longer chat. Also, another powerful way to start is with a sincere and specific compliment. Sincere means it's a real and specific. It means you don't just say you look nice. For instance, if you like something someone is wearing, you could say, I love your bag. Where did you get it? Or if you notice something they have done, you can say, that was a really interesting point and made earlier. This makes the person feel good and gives them an easy way to respond. Just make sure it's honest. But what happened after those first few words? Now that we start the conversation, how do we keep that conversation going? That's the next big step, guys. So, the tip here is to use simple strategies to keep the conversation going and avoid those awkward silences. Right? The most natural way to continue is by asking follow up questions. This means you listen to what the other person just said and then you ask a question that relates directly to their last point. It shows you were listening. Don't just ask a new random questions. For instance, if someone says, I just got back from a trip, you don't then ask, what's your favorite color? Instead, you ask, oh, where did you travel? Or what was the best part of your trip? Or if they say, I'm really busy with a new project at work, you could ask what kind of project it is. Or is it challenging? It makes the conversation feel natural. Now, another great way to keep it going is to share something related to what they just said. But remember, keep it brief. It's not about taking over the conversation. For instance, if they talk about loving to read, you could say, oh, I love reading too. What kind of books do you usually read? If they mention a hobby like cooking, you might say, that sounds fun. I tried making pasta last week. It was quite an adventure. You are adding to the conversation, not just asking questions. This makes it feel more like a real conversation. It's also very important to show that you are listening and interested. Now, simple words and sounds can make a big difference. Like, for example, oh, really? That's interesting. Wow. Or I see what you mean. These shows the other person you are engaged and it encourages them to continue talking. It's make them feel heard. Also, you can simply comment on what they said. For example, they say, I spent the weekend hiking in the mountains. So you could say, that sounds like fun. Oh, I understand what you mean. Hiking can be very refreshing if they share a small frustration. You could say, that must be tough, or I can see why that would be annoying. These phrases shows understanding. By mixing them, you can keep conversation flowing naturally and feel much more confident talking to anyone. So we have talked about how to prepare your mindset, how to start conversation, and how to keep them going. Now let's talk about some common mistakes people make that can actually make them feel less confident and how to avoid them. So sometimes knowing what not to do is just important as knowing what to do. The first mistake is over relaxing or apologizing too much. You know, when you say something, then you immediately try to give too many details or too many reasons, or you say I am sorry many times for small things. That can make you sound less confident even if your idea is good. Even you give too many details or keep apologizing, it can make your listener feel like you are not sure about what you are saying, or that you think you have done something wrong even when you haven't tried. Just say what you need to say clearly and then stop. Trust that the other person understood you. They need more information, they will just ask you. Now, guys, here I'm going to share you the next common mistake is something many people do without realizing. Not truly listening and just talking way too much. We sometimes get so focused on what we want to say or worried about silence that we forget to really hear that other person. A conversation is like playing catch with a ball. One person throws and other catches, then throws back. If you just keep throwing the ball without letting the other person catch it, it is not fun. It is not a conversation. So avoid talking too much about just yourself or constantly, changing the topic back to what you want to talk about. Give the other person a space to speak and truly listen to their words. Also, during a conversation, stop avoiding eye contact. If you don't look at the person you are talking to, it can make you seem uninterested or shy. Making good eye contact shows the other person that you are interested in what they are saying, then that you are engaged and that you are confident. It builds connection, right? You don't need to stare intensely. A natural amount of eye contact, like looking at them when they are speaking and looking at them when you are speaking. Okay, it shows respect and interest. So we have talked about how to start conversation, how to keep it going, and what mistakes to avoid. Now, how do you confidently and politely end a conversation? That's an important point. Nobody wants to be stuck in a conversation that's gone on too long, or to just walk away awkwardly. So knowing how to exit smoothly leaves a great impression. So one of the easiest way to end is to briefly mention something you need to do next or a plan you have. This shows that it's time to move on, or it gives a polite reason for leaving. For example, you could say, well, I should probably let you go, or simply say, I need to get going now. Or another excellent way is to simply express your appreciation for the conversation. This leaves a warm positive feeling. You can say it was great talking to you, or I really enjoyed our conversation. Or if you just met them, you can say it was nice meeting you. This shows genuine politeness and that you valued the interaction. If you want to continue the conversation another time, or if you plan to see them again, then you can suggest a future interaction. You could say, let's catch up again soon. Or maybe we can talk more about this later. Or if you are at an event, I'll catch you later. This keeps the door open for another conversation without having to continue. Okay? These are the polite ways to say goodbye. Now, have a great day or enjoy the rest of your day. Or simply say take care. By combining one or two of these phrases, you can confidently and politely end almost any conversation. For example, it was really great talking to you, but I need to get going now. Have a great day. We have shared so many practical ways to build confidence in conversations. But there is one more absolutely essential point I want to emphasize that makes all of this much easier, which is to be present and really listen. You see, you simply can't have a truly successful or confident conversation without listening. Well, if you are not listening, you are just waiting for your turn to talk. Or worse, you are busy thinking about what you are going to say next. When your mind is focused only on you talking or what you are going to say, you are not really hearing the other person. You miss their words, their feelings, and important details. This makes the conversation feel one sided and can make you seem, uninterested. And when you are not listening, it's harder to ask good follow up questions or connect with what the other person is saying. The conversation won't flow naturally. So, to be confident and talk to anyone with ease, train yourself to be present in the moment. When someone is speaking, give them your full attention. Listen to their words, their tone, and try to understand their message completely. This makes the other person feel valued and heard. And when they feel heard, they are more likely to engage with you, which naturally boosts your confidence, and you will find it much easier to respond because you truly understood them. Remember, confidence in conversation isn't just about speaking. It's deeply connected to your ability to truly listen and be present with the person you are talking to. This makes your conversation much more meaningful and enjoyable for everyone. So guys, all these tips they are all skills, and like any skill, they get better with practice. Whether you are practicing alone or in front of the mirror, or recording yourself, or finding opportunities to chat with a friend, or even just starting a small conversation in daily life, every little bit helps. The key is to actively practice these tips and phrases. Try start a conversation with a new person. Work on asking follow up questions. Focus on listening more than talking in your next chat. And after you practice, take a moment to think, how did that go? What could I improve next time? And this helps you see where you can improve and grow. That's bring us to the end of our this video on how to talk anyone with confidence. So we have covered so much today. I truly hope these tips helps you overcome nervousness, okay, step into conversations and feel more at ease sharing your thoughts and ideas with anyone. So what do you think of today's video? What's one tip you are excited to try out in your next conversation? Tell me in the comments below, guys. Okay, and please subscribe to this channel for more video content. Please like this video, share this video. This is Shalima signing off. Take care and speak English with confidence. All the best.